Hello students. And the last class we have studied about the introduction, definition and scope of macroeconomics. I hope that you have understood and you maybe revised it properly. If not, check out the last video and just go through the features, definition and scope of the macroeconomics. Today, in the first lesson, we are going to study about the features and importance of macroeconomics. Now, we have already finished the study. Now we are going to study about the features of macroeconomics. Now, features of macroeconomics means mostly how you will study it or what you have to concentrate in the features. There are somewhat 8 points. 8 points in the features of macroeconomics. In the 8 points, as you can see in the screen of the presentation, the features of macroeconomics. First one is study of individual units. Second, price theory. Third, partial equilibrium. Fourth, based on certain assumptions. Fifth, slicing method. Sixth, use of marginalism principle. Seventh, analysis of market structure. And eighth, limited scope. Now we are going to discuss elaborately what are the features. What are the different features of macroeconomics? What are the 8 features that we are going to study in the macroeconomics? The first one, the study of individual unit. Macroeconomics is the study of the behavior of the small individual unit like individual firm, individual price, individual households, etc. Got? Now, what is this individual household, individual firm, individual industries? We studied the economy. Microeconomics means microscopic study of the economy. While we are studying the microscope study, we have to take in each one, each cells, like that each individual as a consumer, individual as a producer, individual things, the price of the individual item, these all things we are considering. The first point of features of macroeconomics is study of individual units. The second one is price theory. Macroeconomics deals with the determination of price of the goods and services as well as the factors of production. Hence, it is known as the price theory. Macroeconomics studies, in the first we explained that it studies about the individual units. So while studying the individual unit, we are studying the individual price. So we are studying the prices of each goods and services. What are goods? Different commodities. Services means what we are rendering to the, what work we are doing to the society. Different works are given different prices. So we study about the each individual factors, individual prices. Individual factors of individual price of the factors of production. In the scope we studied the factors of production, land, labor, rent, wages, profit, interest, all this come. So that is the price theory. So macroeconomics, when we study macroeconomics, we have to study the different price. Third, partial equilibrium. Equilibrium means what it is? The balance between two factors. Equilibrium means balance between two factors. Which are the two factors? The microeconomic analysis deals with the partial equilibrium, which analyzes the equilibrium position of the individual economic unit, that is, and also particular households, particular consumer, particular industry. So a part is taken. Partial, P-A-R-T-I-L, partial means part. So we are studying about the different parts of the economy. So it is partial equilibrium, partially. So equilibrium, balancing the two factors. Which are the two factors? The two factors, it is the price of different, the work of different consumers, the work of different individual firms, the work of industries. It isolates the individual unit from the forces, study the equilibrium independently. Okay. It is not studying as a whole. It is studying about the particular things. So we are saying we are taking only a part of the economy and studying. So microeconomics is considered as the partial equilibrium. Next, the fourth one, which we are going to discuss, the three points we discussed. First one is study of individual units, price theory, partial equilibrium. The fourth one is based on certain assumption. Now, what is assumption? We assume the things. We can't take into the as it is. We can't take. We assume that if this condition is in this manner, then this will happen. We assume that. We assume that if it is day, there will be sunlight. Like that, we assume many things. In the same way, in microeconomics, it becomes with a fundamental assumption, that is other things remaining constant. What are the other things remaining constant? Such as perfect competition, laissez-faire policy, pure capitalism, full employment, etc. We take this assumption, that is other thing remaining constant. We call it as ceteris paribus. Other thing remaining constant, this taking some things into view, we are studying the economy. This assumption make the analysis simple. Means perfect competition exists. If perfect competition exists, this will be the factors. So microeconomics is studied with the help of assuming some of the things in the economy, and we study the factors in that way. Okay, so based on certain assumption means microeconomic begins with fundamental assumption, other thing remaining constant such as perfect competitions, and we study about the market analysis, which make the theory very simple. So students, you have to concentrate that macroeconomics is based on certain assumption, other thing remaining same. If we say that other thing remaining the same, we take the price. One thing we take the price and we study. If the price changes, what happens? Okay, what happens in the demand side? What happens in the supply side? We assume if the price changes, what happens? The other condition, everything is in the same way. So we are thinking other thing remaining constant. Okay, next point of the feature is slicing method. Slice, you know what is slice? Slice is small parts. We are taking not as a whole. We are taking slices. You may be seen when you slice something, you cut it into different parts, and that you can see it in a proper way. You slice mangoes, okay? So if you eat it as a whole, okay, that also is a mango. But when you slice it and eat, you will experience the taste, the different things in a proper manner. You will be able to study. In the first point only, we studied about that individual units, study of individual units. In the same way, taking one slice, it splits or divides the whole economy into small individual units and then study each separately in details. For example, study of individual income of our national income, study of individual demand of aggregate demand. Study slicing method means we are taking, means national income means the income of the country as a whole. From that, we are taking one particular person's income, other person's income, and we are studying. So we are taking it as a slicing manner. So microeconomics is said to be slicing method. It is a feature, slicing method. Next point is use of marginalism principle. Now what is this marginalism principle? Marginalism. Use of marginalism principle. What is marginalism? The key role of microeconomic analysis. The term marginal means change bought in total by studying the different things as an additional unit. So marginalism analysis helps to study various variables through the changes. Producer and consumer take the economy decision using this principle. Marginalism is additional. So marginalism principle means what we are getting additional. When a producer start production, what he thinks, what addition I have got. So based on this margin, we have to get something additional from this. So additional unit theory. it helps to study the variable through the changes. What changes I have made? I have produced 5 packets of biscuit. When I produce the 6th packet, what I am getting? So margin sum, that additional unit, the study of the additional unit, then 7th packet, 8th packet. So like that, the consumer, when he takes one of the packet of biscuit, the addition, one more if he take, what benefit he gets, he studies in that way. So when we study microeconomics, then only we can understand that what is the importance of the additional unit. So this we can, it is one of the features of the macroeconomics. So what is Margin's principle? Each producer in the microeconomic theory is concentrated in the marginal principle. Marginal principle means that additional changes that brought about through the changes in the variables. Variables, when we change the variables, what we get additional, what we are getting. So producer and consumer, both of them take this into consideration and they concentrate in the production. The next is analysis of market structure. Now microeconomics, we explained that it is a study of individual unit, it is a study of individual price, it is a study of individual consumer, it is a study of particular things in a particular way. Now, when we study all these particular things, we will come to understand about the market structure. What is the market structure? Market analysis of different market structure like perfect competitive market, monopoly market, monopolistic market, oligopoly market. Now, in the coming chapters, you will study in details about the perfect competition, what it is, monopoly market, what it is, monopolistic market, what it is, and oligopoly market. When we say that perfect competition means there are large number of buyers and sellers selling similar products, and there is a great competition with each other. Now, monopoly means only one seller is there. He is having the monopoly over the products. Monopolistic means some few sellers are there. They are selling different products like that. Oligopoly means few sellers are there. So this type of market structure when we study, when will come, so we will understand how the market is working. Okay, how it is working through different individual units. Next, it is limited scope. The scope of microeconomics is limited to only individual. We from the beginning, when we see the features, we studied about the features, that is the study of individual unit, the price theory, partial equilibrium based on certain assumptions, slicing method, use of marginalism principle, analysis of market structure, and limited scope. Limited scope, why it is said? Because we are studying all these things limitedly. We are taking one of the individuals and we are studying about the theory. So we say that it is a scope is limited. So students, when we study about this, we will come to understand that the features, there are 8 features of microeconomics. Simply, you have to describe in 2 or 3 sentences what are the 8 features of microeconomics. Right? Now, let me move to the importance. In the same slide, you can see the importance of microeconomics. Now, what is important of microeconomics? Importance means why we are studying microeconomics. Why should we study? First thing, price determination. We have studied that price theory. In the features, we study about the price theory. In the importance, we are studying about the price determination. Determining the price. We studied about the 2 forces of the market. What are the 2 forces of the market? The demand and the supply. Now, microeconomics explains how the prices of different products and various factors of production are determined. How it is determined? It is determined by the combined force of the market. Market has the force, and accordingly the production will be there, distribution will be there, and supply will be there. The consumer purchases many of the things according to the price. That is the price difference. So we have to study microeconomics. Why? Because it helps to determine the price. Second, free market economy. Now, what is free market economy? Free market economy means it is the things are decided freely. There is no any other control. What to produce, how much to produce, how to produce, all these things are taken by the individual. There is no intervention of the government. So again, the importance of microeconomics when we study, we can say The free market economy, in a free market economy, all the decisions are taken by the producer. That is the free. It helps. A free market economy is where the economic decision regarding the production of goods is decided. The government does not interfere. Third one is foreign trade. Now, you know that microeconomic helps in explaining various aspects of the foreign trade, like effects of tariff in particular commodity, determination of a currency, exchange rate of any two countries against from the international trade to particular country. So when we study about the individual price, where are the product going? What is the level of the product? What is the quality of the product? And if the quality is good, then we can just go through the different trades internationally, nationally. So foreign trade, microeconomics help to the various foreign trade, means how to of the tariff on a particular commodity, what of the taxes which we have to go, what things we can sell out of the country, what are the things produced, the exchange rate, the exchange of the currency, the exchange rate of two countries, gains we are getting from the international trade of particular countries. So while studying the microeconomics, the particular things, particular products, it helps for the foreign trade. So it is very important we have to concentrate in the microeconomics. Now next is economic model building. What is economic model building? Microeconomics helps to understanding various complex economic situations with the help of the models. It has made a valuable contribution to the economics by developing various terms like concept of terminologies, tools of economic analysis. Economic models are built using various economic variables. Economic models means for the production and distribution, what aspect we have to concentrate, which things we should make. The variables means what? We are changing certain things. For the production, we are making one thing in constant and we are changing the variables, varying it. So accordingly, this helps microeconomics will come to understand that what all things we are going to vary. In the production unit, a particular individual producer, what all things is producing, how he is changing, what is the marginal thing which he is going to expecting from the product, and these all things. So there is a model building, means it will help the economy as a whole. Understanding the various complex economics situations, what are the demand for the particular product, how can we create a demand for the particular product. This all comes in the model building by developing terms, tools of economic analysis, tools. Different tools are there. In the higher classes, you will be studying about what are the different tools, the fundamental aspects which we concentrate for the varying the production, the X remaining the constant, and we are changing the all other factors. If the labor is constant, if the factors of production we change, making one factor of production constant, we are changing other, like the different models are there. So we will come, it is very important that when we study about the macroeconomics, it helps us to build a model in the economy. As next is business decision. Microeconomics theory is helpful to businessmen for taking actual crucial business decision. What are business decision? We studied in the free market economy what to produce, how to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce. In the same way, the business person will take particular decisions related to the determination of the cost of production, the determination of prices of the goods, the maximization of the output and the profit, etc. Next, useful for the government. It is, microeconomics is very useful for the government in different economic policies framing, such as taxation policy, public expenditure, price policies, etc. These policies help the government to attain its goals of efficient allocation of resources and promoting economic welfare of the society. Now we came to useful, how this microeconomics is useful for the government. Microeconomics is useful for the government to decide the taxes of the particular product, the different public expenditure, welfare matters, all this come into consideration. Basic welfare of the economy. The main important point where the importance microeconomics explains how best the result can be obtained through the optimization and utilization of resources and its best allocation to its. It studies about the taxes and effects in social welfare. Now, how it studies about taxes? We studied about the useful to government. In that point, we studied about that. It helped the government to how to tax for the different products, how to control the expenditure, how to gain the revenue from particular product on the basis. Now, we know that for the welfare economy, the economy is mostly concentrated on the basic needs of the people, that is the food, clothing, and shelter. Now, for the success of the economy, first we have to consider the welfare of the people, social welfare. And if particular products, you know that during the times of budget and all the thing, the government tax more the luxurious goods and less the goods which is for the basic needs. So we have gone through the features and importance of microeconomics. There are 8 features of microeconomics and 7 importance. In the 7 importance, the price determination, free market economy, foreign trade, economic model building, business decision, useful to the government, basis of welfare. We have studied all these things. Now, let me give some assignment to you. After discussing this, you have to go through the features and importance of microeconomics. What are the features? We have studied about the 8 features of microeconomics. You have to write 2 sentences each, and this assignment you have to do. Everything point is given. So according to the explanation, you can review my explanation in the video. Again, you can see that what you have to write just here and take different points and write the answers. Now, choose the correct options which is given. I have given 3. 1, the branches of economics that deals with the allocation of resources. Just you go through. In the next lecture, I will give the answers and I will explain you more questions in details of the first lesson. Thank you.